Okay, welcome back. We were on day 3 out of 4. This is just a 4-day campaign. We are sitting on 13 victory points, which we just moved up to the adequate level. So we're actually doing pretty well for victory points. We still have 0 recon, and our SO points are down to 8. So we're going to spend 3 to draw a target card, and I don't have the luxury of drawing a second one. So whatever we draw, that's what we get, and we are at the mercy of this card. So DVG, what tricks do you have up your sleeve? It is a fleet carrier. Now, this is a pretty good one, and here's why. The fleet carrier, if you destroy the fleet carrier, you gain +2 victory points, and then it gets shuffled back in. So we have one of the Japanese carriers, and look at this. The recon and intel are going to both move up 1, and it's a gung-ho mission. Awesome. So it's a naval target, so our naval guys are going to get to tear things up. There are 2 bandits, the A6M2s, and what that's saying is it's just part of the target. So we're going to draw 3 bandits here, and then we're going to draw 2. So when we draw these 3 bandits, it's possible we may get a no bandit token. What this is saying is we're going to for sure have 2 bandits there. So let's just get those 2 out. And of course we drew 2 no bandits. There's 1, and look at that, that's a veteran. It's one of the big ones. And there's the other. Right, so the only thing that stinks about this situation is all of our fighters are just petered out. Sigurd here is shaken. He's sitting on 7 stress. We have 4 stress on this guy, Wiggins, and so he's on the cusp of being shaken. And then we have Tom here, who's also shaken. One thing I didn't mention is you can use a gung-ho token to ignore this shaken. You can even be unfit and use a gung-ho token to go on a mission. We may have to do that. So I think I need to get all 4 of these guys out. The only unfortunate part is Greycap here is going to have to just stay shaken. But even at a shaken status, he still gets a +1 air to air, which is good. We get to bring 8 planes with us. So let's go ahead and crack this open. We're going to draw 2 sights and 2 on every approach. And since this is a naval target, we are drawing from the other cup. So let's draw 2 for the target, and then 2 for every approach. There's 2, 2, 2, and 2. And look at that. We actually drew 2 no sights. I didn't even know those existed. So we got 2 no sights, and they were both in the same place, so this approach is wide open. That is amazing luck. Here we had 2 very nasty ones. And here we have a guy that's going to have +1 range, so he's going to be able to get us when we're over target. So that's not cool. And then here's another one with a range. So he'll be able to get us when we're approaching here because he has that 1 range there. But this is pretty good. And of course, when we get here, we have another 1 range guy. Okay, so the big debate is, do I come in with dive bombers and drop 1,000-pounders on him, or do I do torpedoes? Normally, I would tell you the torpedoes will do more damage, but you have to fly low, which means these get to shoot at you. This guy is going to shoot at us whether we're dive bombers or not, and same with this one. So the dive bombers don't get the advantage that they normally would get, not even over here. So there's a big part of me that's thinking, I'm going to go in with 4 torpedo bombers. And even though this guy's stressed, he still has room for 3 more stress. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take 4 torpedo bombers on this mission and line them all up. I don't have to place them yet, but I'm just going to place them there for now because I'm pretty sure I want to come from this direction. And I'm going to take all 4 of my fighters and I'm going to put 2 here and 2 there. And it doesn't matter what their altitude is, but the torpedo bombers have to be low. And that's going to be my 8 guys. We're not going to bring any dive bombers on this. The dive bombers are amazing, but I think I can do this with the torpedo bombers. So we're going to bring in 4 torpedoes. Oh, these are the rockets. Sorry, I'm trying to reach for things. So there we go. Torpedo 1, 2, 3, and 4. The unfortunate part is since I selfishly took Brett on that last mission, he doesn't get +1 on this mission because he has to rest a day. So his diligence skill is not going to happen. But that's what we're going to do. And as far as everything else, Tom is going to use his gung-ho so we can ignore his shaken status. And everybody else is fine. Gray Cap is shaken, and there's nothing we can do about that. So he's the only one that's shaken. So I'll put Gray Cap sort of off on his own to remind myself of that. And let's get started. So we're going to do target bound card. And, sorry, I keep saying target bound and I keep drawing a target card. Every time a pilot performs a dogfight maneuver, he suffers 1 stress. Oh my gosh. What an awful time to get that. Oh, okay, so that's bad. So now we place our aircraft. I did that. Now we're going to determine the bandits. So this is where we want to get lucky. If we get 3 bandits, this is going to be very bad. So let's just get 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, and I already see good news on one of them. And we ended up getting 2. So there we go. We have 4 bandits, and I have 4 fighters. So that part's good. So turn 1, we're coming in. Okay. I just realized something. Turn 1, I don't want them there because this little creep here would shoot at us. So turn 1, nothing happens. And so we're going to come in like so, and then these are all coming in, and then these 4 are coming out. So remember, it's at the end of turn 1, after all the attacking happens is when everybody moves, so nobody's getting attacked yet. But now we have this situation, and so before I'm moving it to turn 2, but we gotta resolve this. So my escorts are free, and so we're gonna intercept. We have this, we have a legendary escort and a veteran. I would normally put the legendary on Gray Cap, except Gray Cap is in trouble. So we're going to take, Thatch is going to take the legendary pilot, and then the veteran pilot will go to Tom. Gray Cap, oh gosh, we got another veteran that's going to go on Wiggins, and then Gray Cap will take the weakest one, the green. So we have 3 veterans and a legendary. Oh my gosh, what an exciting mission. Okay, so now we're starting turn 2. I'm doing a real quick check to see if I'm fast with anybody, and I am not. And I have no situational awareness tokens of any kind. So the enemy is going to get to pummel the crap out of us. So let's start with the sights. So we're going to do this one first. And I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then re-roll for a 9 or 10. So 3, 1, 2, 3. He's attacking Brett here, and Brett can afford to take a stress. So I'm going to move Brett up to 4 stress so we can roll 2 dice. And there's a 2 there, and so Brett's going to take 1 more stress. So he's up to 5 now. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I rolled a 1, so that's gray cap. Oh, come on. Gray cap is at 7 stress. He's almost unfit. That's my problem. I'm going to lose gray cap. Unless this roll is really low, I'm going to lose gray cap. I can take a stress to roll 2 dice, but I can't. I still have a dogfight to deal with. And the roll is not low. In fact, gray cap's destroyed. Oh. Keep this card. The next time a pilot suffers damage result, they suffer +2 stress. So gray cap's at least not destroyed, but he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. He's unfit. And we knew that going in. So all he can do is move, and right now he's just cannon fodder for the dogfight. The good news is he's in a dogfight and protecting the bombers. So Chuck, if you're watching, you're taking one for the team. So now let's do gray cap. That particular pilot is not tailing. Let's make sure we got them all correct here. That particular pilot is going to roll a 3, so he's going to do a tight turn. And that tight turn is an 8. Gray cap drops it to a 5. So nothing happens. So now he's going to attack gray cap. I can't take more stress to evade. It's a 6. Gray cap drops it down to a 3. The pilot actually misses. So gray cap is still alive. When it's my turn, gray cap just won't be able to attack back. So, but he is keeping that fighter occupied, which is cool. So now we get to Thatch. This is a legendary with +3. So his +3 cancels Thatch's +3. So there's no advantage of any kind. This is bizarre. So it's a 5. So his maneuver is going to be a yo-yo. So let's hope he rolls low. He did not roll low. In fact, he rolled amazing. He rolled a 9, and I can't even change it. So he has Thatch on the ringer. He's now tailing Thatch. Thatch gets a free agile. And so we rolled a 3 for him. And then he gets to add 3 more because of that. So that's a 6. So he puts 1 stress on Thatch, which is unfortunate, but Thatch is fine. Okay, next we have Tom here. So it's a 7, and then Tom cancels his ability, so it's a 7. So it's trying to yo-yo. And he rolled a 6. So for the yo-yo, he has advantage and +1 attack. Okay, so Tom is going to take a stress. Roll 2 dice. The thing I was thinking about is, see, Tom used his gung-ho so he can ignore the fact that he's unfit. So can I keep taking stress? That's my question. I mean, the rules don't sort of explain that, so I'm going to assume yes. It just means he's going to be in a world of trouble recovering. So the 2, he gets a +1 because of this, but nothing happens. So now we're going to move to Wiggins. That's a tight turn, and that's a nothing happens. And Wiggins is going to not take a stress, because if he does, he becomes shaken. We're just going to let it roll. So it's a 3, and Wiggins cancels his advantage, and so there's no damage. Wiggins, that was really lucky. Now, my thoughts were, is I have a gung-ho with Wiggins, so I could have prevented myself from being destroyed, or like if this was a really bad roll, I still had a get out of jail free card. So now it's my turn. Let's do some carnage. Gray Cap can't do anything, so he's stuck. I can just move, and I'm going to just stay engaged. Thatch is in a very big pickle, and we're going to do a barrel roll here and see if we can get out of it. I don't know if we can. We have to roll really high. A 6 is a good roll. A 6, he has +3. The enemy pilot also has +3. A 6 is good enough to get back to neutral. See that? So we're going to flip it back to neutral, and then watch this baloney. Ta-da! I'm not even going to roll. We're going to use our gung-ho and flip that over on Thatch, and Thatch just took out a legendary 0. That's my first time taking out a legendary in this game. So we're going to put that beauty right there. All right, so Thatch is going to be available to help Gray Cap out, which was another big thing I needed to do. So Tom here is in a pickle, and they're both equal. So he's going to do a scissors. So let's see what the scissors does. And again, I just need to roll high, and I did. That is excellent. So a scissors roll of an 8 is I move to advantaged, but I get -1 to my attack, but the advantage gives me +1. So it's like being back to neutral, which is great. So now Tom does not have any gung-hos, or I would have used one, but we're going to roll and see if we can damage. Oh my gosh, I rolled a 10. Okay, anybody who's watching this, just understand, life isn't always this good. So I rolled a 10, and I just took out a veteran. So he's going to the graveyard. And I forgot to update. Thatch took out 1, and that was Tom that took out 1. So we're getting some good kills here. And now we're going to move to Wiggins. Wiggins is going to do a yo-yo. There we go. There's the poor roll. Wiggins hurt himself. Oh, no, I should have... What was I thinking? Okay. I know this is going to seem like cheating, but it's not. I have a gung-ho with Wiggins. I wanted to use it to destroy him. I don't need advantage, so I don't need to do a yo-yo. So I hope those of you that are watching understand that me recording the video and trying to move along really quick, if I would have sat and analyzed the situation, I would have reached that conclusion. I wanted to do a tight turn because even if I rolled poorly, nothing bad would have happened. Because that's exactly my situation. I want to use the gung-ho, and I'm using my gung-ho because this is a gung-ho target. I want to just destroy stuff, and that's why I'm doing that. So I am going to revert it and do this. I know I got to see that I rolled poorly, but this was clearly the superior move and the one I should have done and would have done. So anyways, that's another veteran. I know it always seems cheap when I say something and then reverse it, and I apologize, but I explained my logic, and that's exactly what I would have thought of had I not had a camera and people I'm worrying about. All right, so the fact that I had to replace Wiggins, it keeps throwing me off. Okay, so Wiggins got his 3rd, and so we're in great shape. Gray Cap is not in great shape. So we're at the end of the turn, and Thatch, right now Gray Cap is locked in, and he can't escape unless he has advantage. So Gray Cap is actually in the dogfight. These 3, though, can pot shot and just attack from a neutral position. These 4, however, are moving in. And now we move to turn 3. Okay, on turn 3, we have a lot to deal with. Let's deal with gray cap first. So we're going to roll for a maneuver, and it's a tight turn. And then they rolled an 8. Gray cap gets to reduce it by 1, because his air to air is just 1. So that becomes a 7. So it's a +1 position. So gray cap, they now have an advantage on gray cap. So now we're going to roll for her attack. It was a 4. Gray cap reduces it. It doesn't matter. The 4 itself is not enough. Gray cap's going to get to reduce it by 2. Gray cap did not have the ability to evade because he's on the verge of being unfit. Or actually, he is unfit. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm basically saying that if they're unfit, I can't take more stress, or at least voluntarily. Him, I voluntarily took it because I'm using a gung-ho to ignore the stress. So that's my interpretation of the rules. If any of you have a different thought, feel free to let me know. Okay, so that's done. No damage to gray cap. And now we have the situation where I have 1, 2, 3. And what they're going to do, this one here is for sure going to attack these. So it's going to do 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's a 7, 2, 4, 6. It's going to be Pal. Pal will take 1 stress to make him roll 2 dice. And good thing, because this 2 is better than a destroyed. So Pal goes to 2. Now we're going to go to this guy. This one's more complicated. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because he can attack either area. So I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's Washington. Washington will take 1 stress. I'm going to roll 2 dice. And that's it's a hit because he hits on a 0. So Washington's up to 2 stress now. And then this guy can only attack these 4, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8 again. It's a 9. So I'm going to roll again. It's an 8. So he's going after Powell. And Powell will take a stress, which makes him shaken. Roll 2 dice. The 5 for him is 1 stress. So Powell is now unfit. If you look at this, Powell just went to unfit. So he's not allowed to shoot his torpedo. He can only move. It doesn't matter. It is our turn. And I'm going to try to shoot this plane down before I destroy the target, which I will do. But Thatch is going to shoot the target. He rolled an 8. Thatch gets +3, but the target also gets +3. So an 8 is all that's necessary. Thatch just destroyed the target. So Thatch got his 4th star. I'm sorry, that guy doesn't get a +3. That was an annihilation there. Okay. The reason I know I'm destroying this target without even rolling is I have gung-ho tokens here. So Brett is going to use a gung-ho, and Sarah will use her gung-ho. And the gung-ho means I get to roll a perfect 10, and both of them get to add +3. So Brett and Sarah were each going to do 4 hits. So that's 8 hits on this, and I still have 2 torpedoes left. So 8 hits is more than enough to obliterate this, and we're flying home during our move step. So mission is over. Okay, these are gone. So getting out our sheet here, this was target 36. It's 5 victory points. We destroyed it. We did not get any SO points. Everybody gets 2 stress. So, and that you do give, because that's not voluntary. So this would become a 2. This is a 1. I'm looking at the cool value. That becomes a 2. 2. 2, 1, and 2. All right, and if anybody levels up, it is possible that their cool value will go up and we'll have to readjust that. Let's draw the return home card. During the next mission, receive 4 free SO points for special weapons. There are no special weapons in this mission, so that's a useless card. Every time a dog pilot performs a dogfight maneuver, he suffers a stress. I forgot to do that. I know for sure that I need to add 1 stress to all 3 of those guys. So Thatch would get 1. We'd add 1 more for you and 1 more for Tom. Wow. Very. Okay. The recon and intel are going to both improve, so we finally get to draw a card without having to spend 3 points. And the gung-ho means everybody's gung-ho refreshes. Whoops. Gung-ho, like that. Okay. And then we get to dish out our, this would get shuffled back in, so I'm going to put it back on top of the pile. And we get to hand out experience points. So Tom gets 2. And he needs 7. He's nowhere close. Gray Cap gets 2. And he has 4. He actually levels up. So he's going to become a veteran. It cost him 4 points. So let's see what he gets. His cool did go up by 1. So as I put these back on, I'm just going to change one of them to a 1 here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's actually considered shaken now. But yes, he leveled up. He does not get a gung-ho, so that doesn't help him. Oh, come on. I am just doing an awful job. I'm looking through the camera, and sometimes I just get it wrong. So he's a vet here for -4. And change this to vet. Okay, Wiggins gets 2. And Wiggins needs 9. So he's not close. Then we go to Washington. He gets 2. Washington needs 6. Sarah gets 2. She needs 8. And then Powell gets 2. And even though he's a newbie, he needs 5. Yeah, you're not getting leveled up anytime soon, Powell. Okay, so Brett gets 2 and Thatch gets 2. So that's 4 experience points I get to dish out. And I think we said that, see, Gray Cap leveled up. Wiggins is at 4. He needs 5 more. Tom is at 2. He needs 5 more. Washington is at 2. He needs 4 more. We can potentially level up Washington. Sarah, 2, needs 6 more. Powell is 2, and he needs 3 more. I don't know if there's any hope for leveling up Powell. Okay, so we get out 4. Gray Cap. If I give you 4. He actually has 1 experience point. 4 would get him to 5. It's not enough. So we're going to level up. Wiggins is 4. Tom. Yeah, not enough. Guess we're going to level up Washington. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Washington's going to become a veteran for -6. And let's see what happens with Washington. So the veteran card is, his cool did go up to a 1. we're going to reduce his stress by 1. And his air to ground is amazing. And that's it. So better than nothing. That wraps up day 3. Oh, our total victory points, we got 5 more. So now we're up to 18. Looking at here, we are 1 victory point away from a great evaluation. Take that, DVG. Thought you were sneaky and tricky. If I were to do this mission again, I don't need to bring 8 bombers with me. I would for sure have some more fighters. Having the dive bombers versus the torpedo bombers is sort of nice though. And I also have a strategy for how to get through this last turn. So I only need 1 more victory point. So let's shuffle this in. I'm going to put the phone down. I apologize. I know staring at black is so exciting. All right, 1 more shuffle. Okay, so let's draw our 1 card that our recon, our hard-earned recon gives us. It is a destroyer. So it gets 1 sight at the target. Oh, it's going to be a naval sight. I get to take, it's a secondary target. It has this, which has a range of 1, so it's not very friendly. And the recon is 1, which is sort of nice. It's small, which means our air to ground is -1, and we get -1 turn, so that means we would start on turn 2. I get to take 2. I would look at my guys here, and I can see that Sarah and Washington are the 2 I would take. So I would line them up like so. Everybody else gets the rest, so I would be able to take stress off of everybody, including the fighters, which is amazing. But the thing is that I could actually take Brett, and here's what I'm saying. I can actually flip this over to ignore the shaken in status, and I still have 2 more gung-hos left. That's actually a good strategy, but there's no bandits on this, so I'm not super concerned. And we would load up torpedoes again, because you would use torpedoes on a torpedo bomber. Silly fool, don't think of doing anything else. And let's do the target bound card. You may pay 3 SO points to remove a total of 8 stress from the pilots on the mission. It's a really amazing thing. I actually have 3 stress points, or 3 SO points. I have 5, in fact. I will spend 3 because I can't take it with me. And unfortunately, I didn't pick my high stress guys, but I can at least take off the stress that I have. So now Sarah and Washington are fresh. Okay, now we're going to do the over target. If pilots are shut down, you may immediately return them to your squadron with +2 stress. So that's good. Okay, so now we're moving in. Turn 3. Moving in. Turn 4. And now the magic happens. 1 through 5, 6 through 10. It's a 10. So this one is attacking Sarah. Sarah will take a stress. And that's a 7 that I just rolled. The 7 is a destroy result on Sarah, which is bad. However, Sarah has a gung-ho, so she's going to cancel that. So that's even better than this card. So she can stay in the mission. And then it's my turn, and Washington will just use his gung-ho, and we just did 4 damage to the destroyer. It's done. Mission over. We win. So this recon moves over by 1. We're at 2 SO remaining. We destroyed the target. We get 1 victory point. We're at 19. And take that, DVG. There's a great evaluation on our hardest, or expert. Look at that, it says expert. Look at me, I am an expert at a board game. I got a little lucky, folks. There was a lot of luck in this, but yes, there you go. I just got 19 points on an expert mission. That's Midway, long campaign, 4 days. And I had a lot of fun. This is actually a very fun scenario. I highly recommend it to those of you who want to try it. It was very stressful, pun intended, with this recon of 0. And then, of course, very stressful, pun intended. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how many more of this game I'm going to do. I want to play it more. I just don't know if I'm going to record more. Give me feedback. I think right now I'm playing... I basically binge played this an entire weekend. And even with the amount of time it takes to upload videos to YouTube, I'm moving faster than most of you watching. That's fine. It's good, because that way when it takes 3 weeks before I do the next game, nobody will complain. I do know Dean Brown, and we're going to do B-17 Leader soon. This is a brand new game, as most of you know, so I'm excited playing this. So this is going to stay out for a while, but when it starts to wear off, I am going to get that one out, and we're going to do a campaign of that. It is extremely different from these ones, so all the strategies are very different. But anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching, and stay awesome.